But Richard Sindick spoke. He's the Vice President for Governmental Affairs for the National Association of Evangelicals, and I spoke with him after Chapel Chat about this trip, and he is on board with us to help us get media attention all the way across the country. He's talking to the board of Time magazine, to the producers of Nightline, and also to the major news networks in the cities that we'll be in across the United States to get us media attention. And I think that this is something that it's just kind of fell into our laps to be able to provide this kind of advertising for North Park across the country, and to show across the country what North Park is and really bring it to the forefront.
I've also been speaking with multiple individuals on the campus, and it's pretty well known that this bike trip is happening. The kids know about it and they're excited about it.
There's also the potential that this won't just be a one-time trip. We're looking at seeing how it goes this time, and potentially having this be an opportunity for students for a long time to come if the first trip can happen.
O'Neill, what's our general fund?
I'm actually still in the process of updating and just becoming familiar with the budget. So I don't have a specific amount right now, but I can tell you that you have at least 4,000 to work with.
We have one more meeting. April 28th. Good candy.
Is it gonna take you guys the whole summer to bike Boston to San Francisco?
We've planned about 11 weeks.
May 25th through August 15th. So unique possibilities.
Good.
Could you give me a rough idea of what your route?
As we said, this wasn't updated. We switched our direction from west to east because of wind factors and the fact that the desert is 10 degrees hotter in August than it is in June. So now we're going to start out in San Francisco, bike across Nevada, Utah, into Colorado, and then up through the corner of South Dakota into Minnesota. And we'll be coming into Michigan, and then we'll be coming down to the northern suburbs of Chicago, back up to Michigan to take a ferry across Wisconsin, sorry. Yes, to take a ferry across Lake Michigan to Michigan, from Michigan down into Ohio, across the corner of Pennsylvania, up to upstate New York, Rochester area, and then across.
This route is we sent out initial interest letters to 38 across the
And we're also considering, because Nevada and Utah, there's no Mormon churches there, we'll probably get in contact with other churches that are along the way as well.
Right, sir. Can you talk a little bit about your safety on the trip? We need to know how are you trying to arrange that?
Safety.
We've been meeting with Carl Balsam and some of the members of the university, the lawyer side, the legality side of it, and just trying to make sure that we have every aspect covered in terms of safety. We purchased a number of gadgets that would help us along the way. This spot receiver that Landon found, that's it's a GPS locator basically, and shows where we are at all times. There's 3 buttons on it, one that updates our position on a Google map, one that can call our emergency contact, which is Rich Johnson, and then number 3 that just calls immediately 911 and tells them where we are. So that's touch. We're also looking at having a plan of, we're setting up a plan of regional contacts that within 100 miles or 200 miles, 100 miles on either side, we have a contact, whether it's a family member or somebody that works with the university that has agreed to be able to come out and pick us up if that's what we need. If our bikes break down, something irreparable happens, then we call them and they agree that they'll come out and help us. So. It's also all at, we have 5 cell phones going out to it. So.
Great, have you asked Paul Johnson about this spot thing?
Yeah.
Because he has a couple of the women who are use some of them.
That's actually where we're getting it from. We're using his.
So you don't have to go get like one.
Right. Yeah, he's just gonna let us borrow that, or Human purchased it in having the Oregon trip and our trip in mind. So.
Yeah, Chuck.
On the legislation, it says $2,000 for food and emergency funds. Are those emergency funds like in case of emergency or what? I mean, how much money do you plan to spend on the food and how much is allocated for the emergency that might or might not be used? And then would that be returned?
Well, I think a couple weeks ago, before we decided to do this legislation, we were talking about the budget, and Emily had said that we underestimated, like looking at other people's trips, and considering that there's 6 of us and it's all summer, that we underestimated our cost for food by about $1,000. Also, it is 11 weeks out on the open road, and we really don't know what we're getting ourselves into. Emily's done trips before, but we do want to make sure that we are okay, that we have like funds in case we get ourselves into a scrape or whatnot. We don't exactly know what those scrapes are going to be or what we could do to prepare ourselves because like things are going to happen. So we want to be able to take care of ourselves and each other here for trips.
I just want to make a comment here. I don't want to cut you guys short if you have pressing questions, but all of these people on the outside are waiting to be confirmed today, and we have about 31 minutes left, so just bear that in mind, please. Go ahead, Chuck.
I don't know if that was quite answered my question. I mean, could that be articulated better?
$1,000 will be for food, $1,000 will be for emergencies.
Oh, yes, I have the last question, I'm sorry. If we don't pass you this money, what's your plan? Like, what are you gonna get the money from? Do you have any plan for that?
No. Clear.
Go ahead, Jim.
Would you say that all of your avenues for obtaining money in other parts of the university have been used?
I would say so. I mean, we've been admissions department and university administration.
Go ahead, Sam.
So the trip was roughly 15,000 or something. Okay, have you raised that 15,000?
15,000 is being provided by university administration.
Oh.
So this 2,000 is.
Did you have a question?
Yes, this is a question about, because you said you're out there to promote North Park. Is the university asking you to like bring flyers for North Park, or is there a designated person to like answer questions about North Park emissions and stuff like that?
It's likely that they'll be sending packages ahead to the churches, so when we get there, there'll already be some promotional information there, because obviously we can't carry t-shirts and boxes of